We are in Wildcat Mountain State Park, but before we get into the actual park itself, there's this ice cave trail down below the hill, and it's just beautiful. It's a nice valley, and it's particularly good in the winter time because there's a big icicle from the waterfall. We won't see that now. It's July right now. So we'll see what's here in July. This is a nice, very scenic state park. It's about 45-minute drive on Highway 33 outside of Reedsburg, between Reedsburg and La Crosse, just 15 miles away from Hillsboro. The elderberry bushes are blooming, and as you walk by them, you can smell them. It's just a very nice smell. Too bad there's not smell in this video. Part of the ice cave is along Billings Creek. It's a pretty fast-flowing, cold, clear water creek. It's a beauty. It's nice to listen to it. I have seen trout here in the past. Along the path here are these great sandstone bluffs. And again, in the winter time, there's little drippings and there's icicles in many different colors, from depending on what the water is flowing through. And look at this root right here. Oh my gosh, growing right out of the sandstone. Amazing, a big white pine. Look at these cracks. This is great. Oh, right along the trail here. Looks like little ways here, almost like steps to get down to the creek. Maybe doing a little fishing, catching a little trout for supper, if you got a trout stamp. And again, on the other side of the trail, the big sandstone bluffs. Another tree growing right out of the sandstone. These just always amaze me. What a great part of this park. And there is a little clearing up ahead here. There's a picnic table and a fire pit here. A couple of fire pits. And there is a bathroom. I don't know if it's open right now, but it's a nice spot to have a picnic here along the creek and next to the bluffs. Where it says hiking trail, this is the really wooded area, the deep valley, big trees. Here's a different form of daylily. I'm not sure, but I think it might be called Turk's cap. It's along the way here, the beginning of this trail. Oh, look at that. So cool. We're going deep into the woods here. Hillside on that, going uphill, a ravine over there, and another hillside right here. Oh, this is looking good. More deep woods here. Steep hillsides, a place for a stream, but it doesn't look like there's much water in it right now. Coming down here, and that little valley over there. Lots of ferns. The understory looks pretty healthy. Not a lot of invasives like buckthorn or honeysuckle. It's looking pretty good. Another little valley here with steep hillsides on either side. And there's some sandstone outcroppings up here. Here we are at the very end of this trail. And that little trickle of water is what causes the huge icicle in the winter time. It is so impressive. It not only makes a big icicle here, but all along here, it makes a little ice trail. Look at this area. There's liverworts on the sandstone, and it's just an amazing sight. Sometimes in the winter time too, this is a little snow slide here for kids. This is just an amazing sight for them. They walk along here and there are icicles and ice on the bottom. And all these little ferns and mosses and liverworts and lichens. Oh my gosh, so many things to observe here. And this looks dry now, but there are times when it's wet and snowy, and it's just a beautiful, unique place. Wildcat Mountain, the ice trail, the ice cave trail. I am underneath here now. You can see close and you can hear the dripping. So it's 45 minutes from Reachburg here. All right, we're going to go up into the park now. Well, we'll go down by the Kickapoo River first. That's part of the park also. Someone has built a cairn, it's called. I'm not sure how to spell that. I think it starts with a C though. And some people think it's cool to build that. Some people think it's a nuisance and it's not nature. But some people just like to do it. There's a shelter down here. We're right next to the Kickapoo River here. This is the lower part of the Wildcat Mountain State Park. A bathroom, parking lot, and a boat ramp. So you can launch a boat here, or you can rent canoes in Ontario, which is just up the river. And you float down the river and get out here, and they come and pick up the canoes. There's several outfitters in Ontario. It's a nice ride down the Kickapoo here. Lots of twists and turns in the Kickapoo, but it is scenic. Nice river for canoeing, kayaking. Here's the boat landing here. There's several places you can get out, depending on how far you want to go, how long you want to be in the canoe or kayak. As you can see, it's running pretty quickly, so coming downstream is going to be pretty fast right now. All right, we're entering the main part of the park. This road is steep and winding it may be the steepest entryway of any of the state parks, at least that I visited. It is not someplace you want to come when it's snowing or freezing raining. It just is very tricky. And coming down on a bicycle, you have to ride controlled and slowly. Otherwise you lose control and go over the edge. We're way up on top now. And there is a 2.5 mile Old Settlers Trail loop here. It's a great hike. Goes down, across a bridge, and around and back up. It's very scenic and very woodsy. Very nice. Looks like they're taking down the yellow caution tape. Gonna open things up here. The playground is still gonna stay closed off for a while. Just being cautious. I'm on the trail approaching the lookout. The spectacular view of the Kickapoo Valley. It is beautiful. This is a great brick wall too. Stone wall. Whoops. And what a view. The Kickapoo River Valley. Oh my goodness. Look at that, you can see for miles. And there's the river down there. Just an amazing area here, all wooded. Just think what lives in those woods. Maybe bears, maybe wolves, coyotes certainly, foxes, badgers. Oh man, all kinds of things. And right down here, oh yeah, it goes down, you can't see through the trees. These cedars, they grow so slowly in areas like this, and so they're really old. There's a short trail from the lookout just toward the family camp. We'll see what's on this trail. It's nice and wooded and shady though, and the bugs aren't too bad right now. We're on this short trail. Just wanted you to see the drop off here. It's pretty steep, pretty far down. Pretty scenic. And nice and shady and quiet. The understory here is pretty open, pretty healthy. Again, no buckthorn, no garlic mustard, no honeysuckle. It's really pretty nice. Well, here we have the Japanese beetle, the invasive beetle that eats away at leaves on trees and apparently flowers too. but he certainly is a definite invasive beetle. Many of you have been on trips with me in the fall and winter where we've smelled the seed pods of bergamot or bee balm. This is what bee balm and bergamot looks like now in the flower. Really pretty and unique. I'm going to see if this smells now too. Just squeeze it. Oh yeah, nice smell. Just try squeezing one and smelling it. We are looking at a grapevine here. So you got to know the leaf, the vine, and the grapes before you eat anything. But it looks like it could be a really good season for grapes. The wild grapes like this are pretty seedy. Got a big seed in them, but they do taste good too. But be sure you know what you're eating, and don't eat anything if you're not sure of it. Oh, and by the way, when we were looking at bergamot, I wanted to mention it's not okay to pick wildflowers in Wisconsin. So just squeeze it and let it go then. They do have walk-in sites only here also. They've got regular family sites, and they've got a group site, or several group sites, but then they've got some of these more primitive walk-in sites. It's really a nice park. We're going to take a look at the amphitheater, but there's also other things available down this hiking trail, but we're not going there today. Here we have the amphitheater. What an overlook also, right? We've got lots of benches. If you go on the Old Settlers Trail where we first started, this is where you can come out. And if you've got a class or a group or a big family, you can have little plays up here. Kids like to do that. I have some rules though. No fights. They like to do fist fights and fights scenes. No, none of that. And no put downs. No jokes that put people down. I think those are my two rules, and I say no longer than 2 minutes. But of course you can do your own thing, obviously. A couple other state parks around in the area that have amphitheaters. Mirror Lake has a newly constructed one. It's beautiful. Blue Mound has one. Blue Mound also has a tower that is amazing. There's probably others around too, but those are just 3 of them here that I can remember offhand. Sometimes you may wonder about names, why things get certain names. This plant is one of those for me. St. John's wort. Where does that come from? I'm at the pond at Laval, the mill pond. Thought there might be something interesting here, and it's a lot of blue vervain. And down in the rocks here, let's see if I can find it. Yep, there it is. A clue, a feather. Maybe goose. That would be a good guess, I think.